Hi y'all, welcome to the Craft Table Podcast. My name is Tori. If you want to see anything I'm working on, you can follow me at the Making app or Instagram at the Craft Table Podcast. I can also be reached via email at thecrafttablepodcast@gmail.com. It seems like I'm only really posting every other week right now, podcast episodes. It's unfortunately just been a little crazy between my schedule and just my schedule. It's just been a little crazy, and every Wednesday seems to have had something going on in the afternoons and not being able to record during lunch. So, but it has resulted in some kind of progress. I've had no spinning, so that's not really, I know that I talked about what I wanted to do with a braid. I just haven't had the chance to do that yet. So that is still sitting untouched and unprepped oh, my little dog decided to join me. She's not little, she's 65 pounds. But, so yeah, I haven't done any spinning, but I have been using my Handspun, so I figured I would share that with you. I actually went ahead and, started a new project. The bug bit me and finished a few things, or kind of got some progress done on a few things, and then wanted to and turns out one of those things is not next to me, so I guess I'll share that next week. But I did start working on the inclination cowl that I mentioned. I've been mentioning on what I wanted to do with the spin that I've been working on. Oh, I'm halfway through a round. That's great. Well, you'll see it. It's fine. It's still viewable this way. So yeah, I've been working on, I started, I think this week, the inclination cowl. I just caved and I finished a sock, finished the body of the magic Beetle sweater, which I'll share. And then I was really wanting to knit something for myself that was fun, so I just bit the bullet, paid for the pattern, and started casting on. So I'm not very far. If you're familiar with the pattern, there's 3 sections, and by the way, this is by Andrea Mowry, but I imagine if you're watching this you would know just because she's pretty popular. But I've started it. I'm only in section 1. I'm halfway through, a little over halfway through section 1, so I'm not sure how big section 1 should be, but here, let me get it in the sunshine. Here is what it looks like so far. You can kind of see the color change happening with the braid, the fiber from Nest Fiber. Yes, so just in case you don't know, I doubt that you don't if you've been watching. But this is my most recent spin. It is Nest Fiber, the March Club colorway, and then just, you can kind of see with the changing color, also that light pink in there, that is the coordinating color, and it's BFL Silk Blend non-superwash. I finished it a couple weeks ago, and this was the intended project. I am only on the first cake that I have of this, and I have 2, just shy of 8 ounces, and I know that the pattern calls for 4 ounces each of 2 colors, but I didn't want to do that, and I'm glad I didn't, because I feel like this looks better than if I were to stripe it with a light pink and then striping it with the braid. It just is blending a little bit better, and I personally think it looks pretty good. You can see that I'm starting on the green. That light pink isn't a very large strip where the 2 different braids match up. It just is the way it is. I'm not too upset about that. It's kind of hard to see in this light right now, but this is what it looks like. You see that darker purplish magenta color into the pink, into the green. I am pleasantly surprised with the way this looks. I was worried that it would be a little gaudy, which I don't mind. I I like these colors, so it didn't bother me, but I didn't want it to look too crazy, and it isn't. It looks pretty good in my opinion, and I was a little worried about the barber poling, but I think it's knitting up like I thought pretty well. It's not too glaring, I think, compared to if I had done it like the original pattern, which the original pattern calls for 2 different spin cycle yarns, a single based color, and then the spin cycle dyed in the wool or something like that with the variation in colors that looks like hand spun but isn't hand spun. I've seen some really good ones. I've also seen some where it's just one color. This technically will be one single yarn. It's just multicolored, and it's got 2 different strands of colors plied together. So I think it kind of went well with the, like, a happy medium of the 2 different options you could do with this cowl. I'm a little concerned with how large it'll be. I want it to be substantial, but like I said, I'm a little over halfway through the first section, and it's not really that big. It's a little bunched on the needles because I'm in the middle of a row, but like ooh, I just pulled out all of my stitches. Hold please. Let me just grab all those real quick. Can't believe I did that. I mean, I can, but here we are. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I am just picking up this last stitch. Okay. Yeah, so a little bunched on the needles, like I said, but not by too much, I don't think. But again, I am a little worried about the size. I'm not very good with like really seeing the full picture until after it's done. So I am a little worried, but I'm not gonna let it get too much ahead of me, just because there are 3 sections. I am knitting on a smaller needle. I'm using a 2.5 US size instead of the 2 that's called for in the pattern because I didn't have a 2, and I didn't want to use a size 3 because I'm using it for a different project. So I just grabbed a tiny 16-inch circular of 2.5 because that's what I had available to me. I'm probably gonna stay on this tiny circular and just go with it, because it's not like a full project, like a full like garment or anything. It's just an accessory, so it will be bunched up on the needles, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially since like a hat would be the same amount of stitches on one of these needles for my size and fingering weight. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care. Other than that, I am pretty happy with this. I am finding half fisherman's rib to be very addictive, like brioche. I've only done 1 brioche project, and it was the electric shawl. I feel like I'm forgetting a word in there, but it's electric shawl by Samantha Guerin. Also a really great pattern, but I learned brioche on that, and it was very addictive, very potato chippy, interesting, and I think this is helping me kickstart me into knitting again. So I'm pretty grateful for that, because I was worried that I just wasn't feeling like knitting, and I guess the projects I was working on really weren't inspiring the joy that I find in knitting. So I'm looking forward to this. I'll probably be speeding through this and working on this instead of some other stuff, but that's okay. This has been pretty fun. Like I said, just been enjoying my time knitting on this. It's sitting in like a bag, a little pencil makeup bag that fits one skein pretty well, and my note to keep track of rows, or repeats rather, because I am not great at keeping track of things, so I have to write my notes on a piece of paper and check mark it as I go. I it might be tedious for some people, but it's the best way. And I know you can keep track of like stitch counts and stuff, but I just like to see that progress on paper, I think, as well as in my knitting. And I'm very forgetful, and I'll forget what I had at lunch, or like what I did 2 hours ago. So this keeps me on track. I never lose my place. Might not work for everyone, probably isn't the most useful or best way to use my time, but it works for me. So I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to knitting some more on it, and it's really fun to use your Handspun. And because I wasn't sure what to expect with the barber pulling, solid barber pulling for an entire project, I've used it for color work, but it's a little different when it's the same braid of fiber with the same colors, and it's the barber pulling isn't too aggressive, whereas this is very aggressive barber pulling, and I was concerned with the way it would look. But I'm actually really enjoying the way it's knitting up, even though I don't necessarily like the product of the completed skein. So yeah, lots of fun. Looking forward to continuing to work on this. I'll definitely be knitting this after I was gonna say hang up. After I'm done talking to you guys, I'm probably gonna sit and play the new season of Destiny, because that's the only game I'm ever gonna play now. But yeah, I'll be knitting in between cutscenes with that, and loading screens. The next thing is the trusty Beetle magic sweater. I was determined to finish the body since I last spoke to you. I wanted to at least have it done so that I could I don't know, have something actually like to show for the work I'm doing, instead of it just being miles of body plain stuck in it. I know it probably doesn't matter, and like we all move at our own paces, and this is probably, I know that I wanted to get this done by the fall, but my friend's baby, well, she's not a baby, toddler, is pretty small, and this would still be too big for her. So, and my friend's other baby isn't even born yet, so it's gonna be a hot minute before anyone can wear this. So I don't want to put it off, but the Inclination cowl is really holding my attention, so I might not work on this for a little while. It might be on the back burner for a hot minute. It is what it is. It's life. Stuff. I was gonna say shit happens. Might as well. Oh well. It's not like this is monetized or anything, so I can say what I want. And it's not child content, so whatever. But yeah, shit happens. Life happens. Creativity goes in different directions for me, and I just kind of follow it where I can, where it sparks joy of me. But it was nice to get the body done. So you got a little bit of the ribbing down here, 8 inches of the body, nothing too crazy. I just got the sleeves left on either side. Haven't opened the pattern since I finished the body. Don't really plan to for a little while, but I at least got the body done. So now it's just sleeve island, which I feel like the body knitting is way worse if it's just plain stockinette than sleeves, because it's such a larger circumference and you're not decreasing usually, and it takes a while, and it can be boring, and it is boring for me. I did have one sweater that I absolutely adore and wear all the time that had all over color work through the entire thing, and that was not a chore to knit, like at all. But again, that kept my attention with the colors and also the color work in it, whereas this did not. There was nothing. I already did the color work, I did the fun part, now it's just doing the boring parts, the plain stockinette. So this will be on the back burner. I don't think I'll be working on this in the next couple of weeks. I think you probably won't see this for a hot minute. So yeah, that's what I've knitted on. And of course I finished a sock, but I'll share that next week. I probably won't be I won't be knitting any socks yet right now. I definitely want to finish the second one because the sock that I did finish is really nice, and I know that I'll really enjoy wearing those, and I would like to have them when it starts to get cooler and I'm wearing my knitted garments and accessories again. But yeah, that's a later time. Oh, my cat's gonna start scratching on the scratching post. Sorry guys. I'd rather that than the furniture, so whatever. You just might hear a little bit of audio for a second. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to share. Like I said, I'm not spinning, I'm not sewing, I'm not crocheting, so nothing to share there. I'm pretty excited at the fact that I actually am wanting to knit something. It's funny that it's hand spun. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy using my hand spun until I started knitting with it. I think it's really made my knitting a little bit more for me. So that'll be a project I'll be sharing quite a bit about in the coming weeks. I am thinking of just going to twice a month because I am such a slow knitter and a slow crafter in general that I really don't have a whole lot to share week by week, and it wasn't really like too fun for me to try and record no progress. It's been kind of nice to have the every other week because I actually have something I feel is substantial. And that's fine. We all go at our own pace. We're not all speedy knitters, but that's just my preference. Other than that, life stuff has been pretty hectic between my stuff and Maggie's stuff. She had her 8-week appointment this week and got the clear to start using her leg and start to slowly take her off medicine and slowly start to let her roam the house, the first floor. Still no stairs. I'm just committed at this point to staying on the first floor for the foreseeable future, because by the time that she's comfortable with that leg, we will be getting the second one done. So it's another whole bit of healing and not being able to use steps. So she's doing really good. The plate was not rejected. The vet was able to see bone growth and bone growing around the metal. Nowhere near being healed, but she is doing good. The best that she can be with the other leg being really bad. And that can't be fixed without surgery. So the vet was happy. I'm happy. I think Maggie's happy to not be taking pills and feeling out of it 24/7. And she is sitting in front of me. I let her out of her little corner and she's now been glued to my side since. And it's funny because now that Maggie is free, our little friend Mio is very happy to have her buddy out and about with her. And Mio's actually sitting right next to Maggie. It's pretty cute. So everyone, at least Maggie's doing well. I'm pretty happy about that. It's been really nice to have that fear and worry alleviated quite a bit. Other than that, I don't really have anything to share. Like I said, I most likely will be going every other week. I know that I will be busy for a week in September, so I might not record for a couple weeks in a row. I also know that I am going to be going to, even if I don't purchase anything, I'm planning on going to the I was going to say Maryland, the New Jersey Shape and Wool in September, the beginning of September, so I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, my plan is to just be at home and enjoy the slightly cooler temps as they happen, and get excited for all the pumpkin stuff to start coming out in stores again. And eventually have sweater weather. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon because this heat is horrendous. But there is hope, and pretty soon it'll be chilly enough to wear stuff again. Other than that, I don't have anything else to talk about / share. So next week I will not be recording. I think that'll be my new schedule for a while. I apologize for the inconsistency, but it just seems to work better for me. So yeah, not gonna be recording next week. I'll be back the week after. I hope you have a good rest of your week and that you hopefully get to enjoy cooler temperatures. If not, you get to enjoy some AC if you have it. I will talk to you next time, and I hope you have a good week.